It's Alessia Rose for Official. Hi, I'm Alessia Rose. I got started in music by kind of like a weird, intentional yet also lucky way. I was writing poems and those poems kind of turned into songs, so I was playing instruments and just was an overall kind of dramatic attention-seeking child. It wasn't until I was 19, I'm from Derby, which is not a very musical city in England, and I had no way of how to get into the music industry. No one in my family plays a musical instrument. I am the first one that's doing it. So I taught myself how to produce on like a broken version of Logic Pro, which was low-key illegal, but it's fine now. And I was producing my own songs and sending them to producers that I found had produced my favorite songs, and I was messaging them. I was sending them to my local radio station. They were playing these like unmixed, unmastered, low-key bad songs that I'd made like on the radio every Saturday. That music kind of circulated, and that was what brought me to my first time in a studio. Producers reached out from then. I was 19, so I'm 22 now, so it feels like a lot has happened in a very short amount of time. But yeah, I was definitely being pushy and trying to get myself out there, but I didn't really know how to do it, so I was just messing around and finding out, if you will. I'd say my biggest inspiration is Madonna. I have loved her for many, many years. I grew up with a mum and an uncle who are deeply, deeply obsessed. My uncle's been to every single tour she's ever done. And I think I grew up with that kind of very strong pop influence in my life from day one. I always knew that I wanted to make pop music, and I think even when some people are of the opinion that pop music's easy to do, I'm like, it's actually very difficult to master the perfect pop song. I can't wait till one day I can say that I've done that. But I love Madonna. I think her visual image and just stage presence is everything that's always inspired me. I love Lorde. Melodrama definitely was a huge inspiration for me growing up, kind of putting poetry as lyrics. And I love Lana Del Rey as well. I always describe my music as like pop with an edge, that it's pop music, but it always has that kind of like hint of something underlying. I always wanted to make pop music that felt like the lyrics were hitting in a way that feels super honest and raw and sometimes uncomfortable. I think that's what I love about my most recent EP, Voyeur, is the fact that a lot of the lyrics on that, people listen and they're like, huh, you put that in a pop song? And I'm like, yeah. I think it's nice to catch people and provoke them when they're less expecting it, which definitely with pop music, I feel like you're in your most comfortable, most like liberated self. You're not like quite as vulnerable as you would be listening to a sad song. So it's kind of nice to get on where it hurts when you need to. The Dua tour was a dream. That was my first proper support tour. She is incredible. She's so kind. She is like the most quintessential pop star. She has that pop star aura, and I think to learn from someone who's so hardworking as well, that's always what's driven me, is the fact that I'm like, well, even if I'm not the most talented person in the room, you can't always control that, but you can control being the most hardworking, and I think that's something that she definitely puts across. Getting to play stadiums was crazy and weirdly didn't intimidate me, and I think that's down to her fans. Her fans were so nice to me. I got to meet so many lovely people off the back, and people that have come to my headline shows after doing that tour. So yeah, I am very much mentally stuck on the Radical Optimism tour forever. I think the easiest to make was Dumb Girl. Weirdly enough, because that's one of my favorites in the whole thing, but it came at a day when I was writing in LA, which, if you know Derby, where I'm from, is a world away from that. So was having a very kind of like out of body experience anyway, being there. And I've been writing for so long, I kind of got to a day where I was like, I feel like I'm in the wrong place. I feel like I'm stuck. I don't know what I'm doing. And I sat in the session for like 3 hours and just was like silent. And the producer turned to me and was like, what's up? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I got this song. It was just like kind of fell out of me. We never changed anything about it. I wrote it there like silently, just like scribbling away in a notebook, and it stayed the same from then. And then hardest was probably That Could Be Me. That one has existed for like 2 years in different forms and has been chopped and changed. I think where it is now is the best it sounded. I think I wanted to capture that kind of like 2000s-y romance movie where there's like all this built up tension. It feels very tense, which I like. I love Kenny Titus. She's like an indie folk singer, and I think she's amazing, and more people should find her. First
emotional spark.